All right, so this here is a Crosman 1322 pump action pistol, and it's a great gun. I bought it on Amazon.com for about $54, and then I proceeded to modify it, which has been a real fun process. And you'll see here what happens when you start modifying a gun, Crosman 1322. So this is not fully modded, but it has quite a few modifications on it. And so I'm going to kind of go through today what I've done to this gun in order to get it to this point. Let's start first off with the grips. These grips here are walnut grips. I actually made these myself. Took me a few days to make them. I actually went out to RW's YouTube site channel, which is called Mountain Storm. That's the channel. And that guy is a perfectionist. He knows exactly what he's doing on these grips. And I proceeded to copy what he did because it was such a great looking grip. And not only that, but I have somewhat bigger hands and this thing fits like a glove. So this is not a perfect grip. I had to actually backtrack on some things when I made this grip because I didn't cut perfectly, and so I had to do some things to get it to fit perfectly. But man, it right now, if I put my hand in here, I don't want to put it down. It is it is perfect in my hands. So when I'm aiming, it's exactly how I want to have my posture on my hands. So that's the grips. They're walnut grips, and you can go out to type in Mountain Storm, RW Crosman 1322, and I'm sure you'll find some of his videos of how to make these. He does sell them on his site for I think $150, but he does probably much better job and more thorough job than I would have ever done to get the pistol grips the way you see them like this. Now I did do, since this is a pump action, I have a bolt here. I don't know if the bolt is, I think the bolt is different on the CO2, which is I think what he shows in his videos is a CO2 Crosman. So I'm not sure how that bolt's set up, but I think I had to do this modification here myself. Is I used a bandsaw, cut out most of this with the bandsaw and also with a drill press to get the configuration you see here. So anyway, with regard to the pump, this is also walnut, and this was fairly easy to make, the pump part. Again, I used a bandsaw and a drill press and a lot of sanding. And after I completed both, I put linseed oil, boiled linseed oil on them, rubbed it in, and this is only one coating on the handle, so I might go back and do some more coatings on the handle. I put 3 coatings on the stock, the pump part, but it was actually darker in the first place than my handle, my grips. So I'm not quite sure why, but anyway, it's somewhat darker than the grips. That's okay, I don't mind, it looks beautiful the way it is. I also, so you see the suppressor here, I paid, I think it was about $30 for the suppressor. 12-inch barrel instead of a 10-inch. These were all purchased on eBay. 12 inch is needed in order to put the suppressor on. They have longer barrels too if you wanted to configure it as a rifle. You got the Picatinny mount with the brace here, which I also got on eBay. You can see right there. And you'll see on this side where the brace actually screws into the back rear sight. So you take that rear sight off, you screw it in here, and that provides a lot of support for putting your Picatinny on, and subsequently your scope. The scope again is a dot scope, is a red and green dot scope. Requires a battery. It's a killer scope. Love it. And that cost me $35 on Amazon.com. I put in a trigger here, a chrome steel trigger. I guess it's a steel trigger. I still need to get a tension. I'm buying a tension trigger pull inside that will allow for a nice, smooth, clean trigger pull, because right now it's really not great, the trigger pull, if you want precise shots, because this thing can shoot super accurate if you have the right equipment in there. I've been sighting in with a rest here, and I've been getting very, very tight groups with this gun. Again, this is a 22 caliber, has a lot of hard hitting power. I think the maximum feet per second is 460, unless you modify it. It might go a little higher, and if you pump it more. But I'm happy with where it's shooting right now, speed-wise. I mean, because this is 22, it's going to hit, and anything it hits, it's going to have really hard impact. So anyway, this is a beautiful gun. I don't want to put it down when I put it in my hand. It's something that, if you're into, making some modifications, it's going to cost you something to get all these things together. It's one of those nickel and dime things where you're going, okay, I'm going to get this, and then you say, oh, I'm going to get this also, and suddenly, you're into several $100s worth of modifications when you're done. But if you want something that exactly the way you want it, this is the way you do it, and you can have this for a long time, and you're going to enjoy it. So if you have any questions, just go ahead and submit a question below, and I'll be happy to answer. If you need directions to any website or YouTube channel, I'll be happy to point you in the right direction. So anyway, that's my video for today. Hope you liked it.